we see like a whole episode or so dedicated to how they got Sarah, they got her in jail.
Oh my gosh. So my mom, I bought the roti maker. She doesn't let me use it. I,
Oh, really?
yeah,
So
yes. I'm
just hello everyone, welcome to Dramalog. This is Sunny, and today we have a new set of reviews for you. So let's sit back and let's get started. We're all missing Sana, huh? she's been traveling, so she's missing in conversations here. But nonetheless, it's hard to get hold of Hina as well. So I'm glad that Hina is here. And then together we have two dramas planned for today's discussion. One is Humraz, which is Firoz Khan and Aiza Khan's new show, and the other one is Parwarish, which is slowly turning out to be a favorite drama across the world. Which one should we start with, Hina?
I think we can talk about Faraz first.
Oh, okay, sure. Let's go with Hamraz. And is Firoz your favorite? One of your favorite actors?
I think I like him. Yes. I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
His,
Okay.
his acting is pretty intense. So,
Mm,
I
yeah. Yeah.
that
He
kind of
he's unique that way. Yeah.
it suits
Yeah.
him. He's good looking. He the angry young man role really.
Yeah.
So I mean, I like him in those kind of characters.
Yeah, he's is a typical tough guy, and he pulls it off so well. You can't even imagine anybody else other than Danish Taimur in that role. Uh, so, but I personally like Aiza a lot, and I also like the guy who's Aiza's husband in this show. I forgot his name.
Zahid.
Zahid. Yeah, I also
Oh,
also like. I think he's a great actor.
I've seen few shows of Zahid, and he's a very good actor. Like
Yes, yes.
so,
Yeah, he's got a great, like very affable screen presence, and that you kind of you kind of gravitate towards that guy automatically.
yeah. Isa is very pretty, and
Yeah,
is a actress. So like
yes,
acting wise, she's so mature. She's so up there.
yes, yes,
Um,
very true. Yeah, and even in this particular show, we've seen like 6 episodes or so right now, and then she's done so well, and you feel for that character Sarah so much because just part of it is her acting.
yeah.
So, but Humraz has its flaws, right? Where do we start, Hina?
So, my honest opinion about Humraz is I'm not enjoying the show. I'm mostly watching it like fast forwarding it because a lot
Yes,
too bizarre to watch. First of
yes,
all, the storyline is way too. I feel like the whole Sarah situation it doesn't make any sense because
yes,
one phone call doesn't make any sense because if you get the call list, how hard it is to get the call list, and
mm, mm,
somebody else has been talking to for so long. How can like so I
yes,
the whole the whole scenario is just so weak, and the whole story after that is based on that weak situation, and it's not making any sense.
yes. And it is weak when the cop is has got Sarah incarcerated because of this one video shot that they have at the cafeteria, and the court, it didn't even hold ground. In like 2 minutes, the defense lawyer just said, like, you have one screen video shot and you have 1 minute call, and you're framing the whole case against this Sarah based on that. So how weak is your case? And he literally threw the whole case out of the window. And the judge just said, like, yeah, just go back and do your homework, sort of. And
Which is
I,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
yeah. And then we see like a whole episode or so dedicated to how they got Sarah, they got her in jail, and she's the culprit. And you have this cop who's like saying, really very dense dialogues around it, that like, and we'll make sure that she's punished and all the stuff. And you haven't done your job, lady. You
Yeah,
haven't even done the real investigation, and a lawyer basically points it out that your evidences are so weak.
yeah. You showed up to a girl's house to arrest her without doing your job, without doing your
Right,
homework.
right. And then we don't even see a guilt on her face that, yeah, that you have a point, like, this was just a 1 minute call, and the other call, and there's another number where numerous calls have gone to, and we can't even track that number down properly. We should have given some thought to that number instead of harassing this girl. You don't see any such conversation, and you still see the cop, in this dense mode in trying to, like, so convinced that Sarah is the one, and she'll try to kind of find the reasons to convict her. It's just like I feel like slapping that woman every time she steps on the screen. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
please do your
what
job.
other thrillers and stuff. I mean, there has to be some sense to it.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
but the initial plot that we thought that she's like doing the double dating, like Sarah is talking to, but that would have made sense if that
Yeah,
was the storyline, that she's
yeah,
talking to this Faraz and, to her anxiety, like just like, like double timing or something like that.
right.
But
Yeah,
she's completely innocent. She just did one phone call because if
yeah,
this Sarah would have done multiple phone calls too for us for whatever reason, for even for
huh.
like pranking each
Yeah,
friendship or whatever,
yeah,
that then that would have made sense, more
right,
sense.
right. And here you have two witnesses who are saying that yes, we just plotted the whole thing right there in the cafeteria, and we just put her up for that prank. You have two, girls who are witnesses and who are showing evidence that yes, we were there. We plotted the whole thing right there. She had no prior knowledge of the guy. Then you
Yeah,
have Sarah telling, who has already confessed to her fiance that I did this today and this happened today, and we have a whole sequence where the fiance had prior knowledge of like what event happened that day.
yeah, because him everything.
Yeah, she has told her everything. She's even shown, what she's done and everything. So he has. So it's not that Sarah hid any of this from anybody, right?
Yeah,
So there's so many things in favor of her. You can't put somebody like that in jail and for no reason, and then do a media trial on her. Like they've released her things to the media, and there's a media trial going on for her, right? So it's just
it's
it's just making no sense.
a very poor direction too.
Very poor. And
But this,
the worst is you're showing a lady cop who's building this case against a woman without doing proper homework. Like
no,
where are your sensitivities here, right? This is just. And then you're trying to make it a show like, oh, ये लोग अमीर लोग हैं इसलिए निकल जा रहे हैं.
yeah,
No, dude, वो लोग निकल इसलिए जा रहे हैं because तुम्हारे पास कोई केस नहीं है.
yeah.
So
I
so
mean, it's not
yeah,
as mother, like the whole, like her,
yeah.
like they're so irritating, so annoying. Again, we don't want any like Salzburg kind of drama, like
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can show me very good performance and very intense, harassment sequences, but then the crux of the problem is very fragile. That
yeah,
you're not able to build the story over that.
yeah,
The positives are they're showing a very strong couple bond here. It's not trivial, like, हाँ हम लोग डेट कर रहे थे जैसी मुसीबत आ गई चलो अपने अपने घर चलो. It's not that. So that's a good thing that the husband continues to support her and
mhm.
believes in her. So that's something really nice. Did you understand why her mother-in-law is so against her from the very beginning?
And she's related to her, like she's the
Huh.
her brother, so it doesn't make any sense. She's
Yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah, she's her
It
niece, and like,
is
why is she so? And it's not that it happened after the conviction. It happened from the very beginning itself. You see that she's against her
it.
son marrying Sarah.
They have to show in our drama some kind of toxic character, which doesn't
Yeah.
make sense either.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
like what?
Yes. Exactly.
Like what is wrong with this woman?
Huh.
I know
Yes.
her exists, but we don't have to. It doesn't seem real. Like why she like tell us a reason. Like
Hmm.
your audience is now very intelligent. They want to know
Hmm.
why woman is against this girl. What is wrong there? Either she
Hmm.
doesn't like she belongs to the status is not the same, or she likes somebody else for
Hmm.
herself. They
Hmm.
haven't,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they just
Yeah.
show
And
that she hates
I
her
feel
for
like there was some issue with her, with like the girl's mother, but I couldn't understand that
that
issue.
was
I mean,
like
yeah,
something fast, something that I mean, it's
yeah.
a
Hmm.
really bad storytelling.
Right, exactly. And something about her divorce was related to Sarah's mom, and I couldn't understand what, because it was just, it's not very clear at all. And coming to Firoz, he's doing what he always does. But again, his character has no, like, the execution of things are also very poor. Like that one scene where he comes to Sarah's house and tries to intimidate Sarah's parents. It was such a badly executed scene.
Yeah, there are multiple scenes who are so badly executed.
Yes. And then today, I don't know if it's in today's episode. In today's episode, big cop, like I think the IG or something, he calls Firoz over to his office to kind of tell him that you can't be intimidating people, and these are big people with, like, these are really very they have a recognized name in the society, so
Hmm.
they're known to be nice people. So you can't just go to their house and start harassing the people there.
Hmm.
So and he also tells the cop friend that, you need to look into this. Like, he can't keep doing this, and she goes like, yes, I'll I'll take care of this. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
So
just very bad.
I think the reason I got interested in watching Humraz is, of course, because of Feroz and Aksa's combination. And I thought, like, it seems like, a revenge story based on revenge, and the hero's gonna come after the heroine, and
Yeah,
it's not gonna be your typical story,
right.
partially because of poor execution and poor storyline,
Hmm.
poor dialogues, and the
Yeah, the dialogues are terrible.
dialogues are terrible. A lot of characters who are like, the support cast. It's just there, like Pharaoh's fiance. She's there. She's just serving the mother for
Hmm.
being just there.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's things are not making any sense.
Right, exactly. And nobody's question. I mean, Firoz is like flaunting a gun. Firoz is like, saying things like, कि मैं इसको harass करके छोड़ूंगी. And there's a mother and then there's a fiance in their house. None of them are saying this is bad habit, this is bad approach, right? You're confiding in them, and the mom is saying कि like इसको छोड़ना मत. He's telling his fiance, he's pointing a gun and he's telling his fiance कि मैं इस बंदी को छोड़ूंगी नहीं. And none of them are saying, like, don't take any aggressive measures. Like, let law take its course. Why are you behaving this way? They're in fact endorsing कि बेचारे का भाई मर गया तो इसलिए ऐसा हो गया. Like, no, dude. Like, you have to. This is the time when you have to be the voice of reason to the guy. Otherwise, he might commit a crime.
Yeah. So the question now is, should we keep watching it, or
I honestly don't feel like.
yeah. There is one little hope that I'm thinking that probably Feroz will take again. It seems like he's gonna take everything in his hand and like try to avenge,
Mhm.
uh, take revenge from her by like marrying her. I don't know, like something
I
like
know.
they're gonna.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not sure. Like
Yeah.
how, like that's what I'm interested in knowing, like where the story is going, because it seems
Mhm.
possibly Code is not gonna do anything,
Yeah.
and
It does seem like he's gonna be like sort of stalking her and harassing her. So it's something like that. And but you were right when you said, like, that girl is probably still alive. The real Sarah is probably
the
still alive, because we do see her side of the family kind of
yeah,
has started saying things, right? So
we saw that, and yeah, I mean, we can see a few more episodes and see.
yeah.
There's some
Let
that prop because I want to see Isa's and Feroz's, like the chemistry. When Feroz comes to know that I was just going this girl after this girl for no reason, then how is gonna react to that? And
Yeah, that
yeah,
that might be 30 episodes from now. And then for 20 episodes, we'll keep saying something like really bad.
yeah,
But you're right. I mean, you do want to see the face off between Isa and Firoz. They're such powerful actors. You do want to see how it's going to pan out, right?
yeah.
Um, the only thing I enjoy is Isa and Zaid's chemistry. I
Mystery.
think they're
And then
so cute.
whenever their screen presence, everybody's screen presence is good. The main three actors, their screen presence is
Very good.
whenever
And
they're
yeah.
it, it looks good.
Yeah. And whatever little role Laiba has, she's not been given a very meaty role, looks like, but she's such a good and charming actress that you want to see her on screen. You want to
Yeah,
see what she's saying, right? So, big
it's
shout out to her.
yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, we'll see if we can watch.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll come back after like 2 more weeks and see if the story has really progressed in the direction that we wanted it to.
We'll let you guys know if they will see something interesting. And then we will tell you guys to watch it or not.
Yes. Yes. All
Right.
right. So that was our take on Humraz. Let's do our next show that we both love, are liking right now. That is Parvarish. How many episodes has it been? It's been like 20-ish, right? Or am I wrong?
18, 17, 18, I
17,
think.
18. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
around that number. So good many number of episodes, and this is I think we have done one review before. We kind of going through like the summary of the story. But this is a story about a non-residential family who's moved back to Pakistan and from America to Pakistan, and they're trying to adjust in their dad's house, right, where there's another family living as well.
Good reason to move because their apparently their daughter was involved into drugs, right?
Yes, yes, that was scary. Like, but that there again, there's the stereotyping, right? Like, families growing up with kids in US, not all of them are into drugs,
No, no.
right? Right.
That
I
is
mean,
yeah.
you are a pediatrician, you know it very well. You see,
I, I
uh,
I'm a hospitalist, so yes. But
okay,
I mean, yes, it's being a little bit stereotyped. I mean, drugs are as equivalent as back in Pakistan as in US. Like it's the same thing back in Pakistan.
yeah,
So,
hmm, hmm.
for example, we're not gonna move back to Pakistan like to save our kids from the drug abuse because we know they're not gonna be safe over there either.
Yeah,
I will find
yes,
America has a lot of resources, and
yes,
you can save your child over here too.
hmm,
It
hmm,
would have been made more sense if they would have shown that they, because of their son who wants to go
yeah,
to med school,
hmm.
uh, a lot of like kids go to Pakistan for med school because apparently it's shorter, it's slightly cheaper,
Oh,
stuff.
interesting.
So they want to save a few years. So I do see because when I was in med school, they were with me. They were like 20, 25 students were from here. So
Oh,
very common. Yeah, it's very common. So that's what I'm telling you. It's more it would have been more natural and real that the parents moved back to Pakistan for their son to be in the med school
yes,
for
yes.
5.
Yeah, because this daughter looks really young. I don't know what age group she is in. She looks really young to go
Oh,
to a party and then try drinking in a party and then even trying drugs in a party and then get overdosed. It looks like my daughter is in middle school here, about to go to middle school here. My son has gone through till high school. I have never seen parties like that here.
you
So
know
in this age group. So
that's in this part. So okay. So we are talking about a little bit of the the job, like the points that we didn't like about Parvarish. So one is this part of the storyline that they stereotyped the American
yes.
whole problem with the drugs, but
Yeah,
but it's not true. Yeah, there is a way to save your child here, and again, taking them to Pakistan does not mean she's not going to get exposed to drugs over there.
right, exactly.
We'll
Yeah,
have drinks and boys over there too. So,
right.
so
Yes. People date there as well. And I've seen people dating in middle school there as well. So, and to be honest, I think they do bring up, I mean, the uncle actually mentions that, कि like, ऐसा तो नहीं है कि यहाँ पे भी ये नहीं होता.
yeah, actually, yeah, they said that.
Huh.
Really
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
absolutely like
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, very very real drama. Like
Yeah.
every talk will make sense. You feel like okay, this is a conversation happening in my house. This is how everybody talks.
Yes.
Very,
Yes.
very.
Very, very. And then, nobody is trying to say कि Pakistan बहुत अच्छा है, तुम अच्छा कियो, लौट के आयो, यो. Neither, I mean, I don't hear they're happy that they are back home, but it's not कि like कि यही होना चाहिए था तुम लोगों को, वो तो बहुत खराब देश है. That's not the message you're getting from the show. So,
That I had a problem with that when they were moving back. Why they moved to a joint family system? Because the worst thing you
yeah,
can do child is to share a room with another child who's, you know how our kids are here. They don't share rooms. Like, it's such a, even with their siblings.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so that was another thing that I thought that, but then they showed us again. They had the answer that they wanted them to learn from their cousins, the
Hmm. Hmm.
exposure, the whole joint family system exposure, like how dada dadi, the grandparents play their role, and how the other cousins are doing. They are doing so well in their life, and how
Hmm. Hmm.
they want them to be role model for their children. That's why they try to move into the same house
Yes, that
because
is true. But my other issue with the show is Mahanu's characterization. Like, yes, she is somebody who's lived abroad for the most of her life, and then she was reluctant to come back to Pakistan. But once you're here, I don't think anybody who has lived in US will be like, "Oh, I'm not doing any house chores." You know,
no,
right? That is like completely unnatural, right? I can imagine people who've lived in India for the longest time move to US and go like, मुझे तो नहीं करना आता, मैं क्या करूँ? I
the
don't know what to do.
other way
But
around.
yeah, other way around makes sense. But people from US is the first thing you do is like stand with the other guy and say, कि, like, what? How can I help? Because you do know कि like घर के काम कितने होते हैं, and an extra pair of hands help a lot.
Have to
So
do, you still have to take care of your family. Like
yes,
you have said that, let's get the house out because now I'm here. Now I'm gonna enjoy this part of, like, living in Pakistan, because I'm gonna hire the extra house help. But
yes.
but Mahnood dumping her work to the sister-in-law doesn't make sense to me either.
No, it doesn't make sense. And she coming to the sister-in-law say कि ये मेरे कपड़े हैं इसको धो दो. That also makes no
Or
sense.
Nigerian,
Like,
that is like, no, we don't do that.
yeah, we nobody does that. Like that was like, why are you showing Mahanur like this just because she's come from abroad?
Yeah, I
So
mean, lived in US, you're not gonna do that. You
yes,
can hire a house help, you'll hire a help, but you will not rely on any other person for anything in your life.
yes.
Like,
I mean, I see that you would want to use more gadgets. I see that. I see that you are like, I'm not used to cooking in this hot weather, or in this hot environment. I'm used to a much more, whatever, cooler environment or something. So ये काम करने में तकलीफ हो रही है मुझे.
I
I can understand that. But
know.
you are like, अच्छा तुम करो, तुम जो कर रहे हो, I'm off. मैं जा रहा हूँ nail salon जा रही हूँ, मैं यहाँ जा रहा हूँ. You don't do that. Like
You,
you'll not.
I mean, if you're visiting for a few months, that will make sense. But you have permanently moved there.
Yes,
You can't
yes,
do
yeah,
that.
yes, exactly. So
And
this,
then, like that roti maker saying, that was that was cute. I found that. I,
that's cute. I have seen these characters, like the character like the Sasuma.
yeah, I
Although
was.
I find her adorable, like her portrayal of that Sasuma is so good. I love that character. But like Sana was telling me, Sana has never encountered somebody like this who's so averse to technology. I was like, no, Sana, I have.
No,
I
no,
have.
no. Oh my gosh! So my mom, I bought the roti maker. She doesn't let me use it. I,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, God.
yeah.
So
She,
it's
I'm
just,
until my hands are working, I'm gonna give your kids my handmade made roti. You can use this roti maker for yourself.
oh my God. So this is
I
happening right in your house.
love that scene so much. I was like, okay, I was like, okay, this is this generation problem.
Yes,
So
yes,
it is
yes,
something in their mind that these electronics are not good for the health.
okay.
So and
Yes,
I respect that. I was like, okay, they are, it's their generation thing. But our generation need to figure out a way to help to make the kitchen life easier. Like,
yes,
that
yes.
back in Pakistan there is no dishwasher. There is, you have
Mm,
your dishwasher who's washing the clothes for you, is right. But the
yeah,
whole like generations after generations, their whole life is spent in the kitchen, like just taking care of the house.
yeah, yeah.
They don't what's
And these are big households. Like there's so many people with their own routines, and they're coming in, going out at their own their own schedule, and you are the only one trying to cater to their dietary needs. That's impossible to
and
manage.
do it, and they don't even know that, how, like, it's not that they can regulate it, they can outsource it. They
Yes, yes,
have
yeah. And it's
like
okay to do that, right?
that.
Like, Yeah, that's one point that Mahanur is trying to, you know, pass across is like make your life easy. Why are you making, putting so much on your own
Has to do parvar
shoulder?
our children as well. She's
Huh.
12 hours in the kitchen. How come Pana has time for her children then?
Yeah,
Right?
she doesn't. You don't see her spend any time with her kids. They're on
Yeah,
their own, doing their own things.
yeah. If you want the women to like, if you're gonna make their life easy in the kitchen, they would be able to spend more time with your children and raising them and teaching them some good stuff rather than spending all the time in the kitchen.
Yes, honestly, yes,
It's
absolutely.
a very key factor for Parvish. I mean, timing.
Absolutely. You only have so many hours in a day, right? So, and mom plays a huge role in the nurturing of the kids. Um, so yeah, so that is a very good and very easily relatable, storyline that those characters are so relatable and
And
those themes
one
are so relatable.
more thing which is very minor, but it's the accent of the kids. Of course,
Oh,
they don't talk like American kids at all. So
not at all. No,
uh,
especially the main guy. Like the main guy is a
it's
teenager who's grown up in US and he speaks so much English in the show and his English is not accented, which is you can't even like that, this is I think in one of our earlier reviews me and Sana pointed this out and that is part of the reason that I'm not able to completely relate with Wali, right?
yeah. I feel like he's coming from Dubai or Qatar or some.
Yes,
I don't feel
yes.
like he's coming back from like US.
Yes, yes. So his dilemmas and his confusions, you're not able to understand just because he doesn't speak alienly. He doesn't speak like or behave like a person from abroad, right? So his body language is not that of a person from abroad.
No, he's
Um,
somebody from Dubai or
yes, one of, or
from
somebody who's probably gone abroad to study for a few years and come back, kind of like that.
yeah.
So his,
Not
his dressing sense is to the point, but then other than that, his behavior, his body language, they don't shout NRI or non-resident. So that's a big flaw. Even the younger child, the sister, even hers also problematic. Her accent is also problematic.
yeah. So we talked about the flaws. So these were the few here and there flaws. Other than that, Parvarish is a very good watch.
Very good one. So many relatable sequences for
I,
me. That one sequence was so good where, when they take the daughter to the doctor, and the
Mhm.
doctor said that she's doing really well, her health has improved. And Mahanur goes like, "Oh, my mother-in-law keeps giving her some animal protein and stuff like that." And she's like, "Oh, whatever it is, it's working." So Mahanur gets a reality check that that method can work. And
Yeah.
then back to the dining table, they're having roti and she's criticizing, ये सब हाथ से ही बनाना चाहिए and all those things. And then Mahanur goes like, आपका रोटी कैसा है आज? So she said, oh, this is very good. She's like, this is made to the roti maker. So the two generations kind of
Yeah.
got the
I'm not
reality checks.
sure that. It's very refreshing too.
Very
So again,
nice. Yeah.
very real. This drama is very, very real.
Very real. Like this is like I feel like it's my family story being played out on screen,
Yeah.
every day.
And all the bachas are really cute. All the bachas.
Yes, they're so cute. I mean, we used to love that younger brother.
Oh,
It's so funny.
it's so funny.
It's
Like
so
this
funny.
whole Gen Z thing. It's nice.
Oh,
They use
yeah.
their language too, which is very nice. Like I like that.
Yes, and
It-
Amal is such a wonderful sister that you feel like I want someone like that for my house as well.
yeah.
Then we come to Maya's side of the family, and this is where I am a little lost. I don't know what to feel, and maybe you can help me out. So we see Maya, who's it's a very traditional household. The dad is like a miser, and he doesn't want to pay for her education, provided she's already sort of in an alliance with a guy, and then he's hoping that eventually that guy is going to cover her education cost or something. I don't know what his plan is. But he kind of sort of proposes that Maya gets engaged to this guy first. That was the first step that he proposed. And the mother came and convinced her that yes, yes, go for the engagement. Then this will give you a 5 year respite because they are waiting for you to become a doctor so you can get married. the whole reason that Walid chose her is like she's about to be a doctor, right?
And
And
very
then, right? And then, so they say, okay, I have 5 years, and in 5 years, and anything can change. So, okay, I'll say yes to the engagement. But now you've said yes to a guy, and the guy is your fiance. What was your expectation of this? Like the fiance will never call you, the fiance will never try to meet you. There will be no interaction between you and your fiance in the whole 5 year
so
process.
her character is messed up, and you can see why she's messed up because of her family. Like the
Mm.
whole environment around her is not that healthy. She's a
Yeah.
very, you can see that she's a very, so yes, in Pakistan it happens a lot. If you're a doctor, of course you'll get better proposals, and a lot of families, good families,
Mm. Mm.
who like but having a wife or something like that. It's
Right.
very, like, I remember when I went to the med school, somebody told my dean, one of the fathers, and that I only wanted my daughter to come to this med school because I want her to get married to a very good family.
Oh, wow.
That was back in 2004. So
Wow.
we were so surprised. We were, yeah, I mean, so young at that time, and we were like,
Yeah.
how can some father can say something like that? But
Right. Yeah.
that is the reality of our society. If it's apparently, I don't know, it's considered cool or whatever, or status symbol or whatever you can say. Oh, I have a daughter.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
that's why his Maya's father want her to become a doctor, so that she can. The only reason he wanted to become a doctor is not to practice or anything. Is
Hmm.
to get married to this nice family. That's it.
Interesting. Yeah.
That is the whole. And then the other side, Maya, of course, she doesn't like this guy at all, right? She's somebody, because she's a smart kid. Like, she has opinions. I like her like,
Yeah.
I like her character, that she's like, she wears something nice, and she goes to this coaching club. She figured out her
Hmm.
day. She
Yeah.
tries to deal with all the situation. She's making breakfast in the morning, and then she studies.
Hmm.
So she's smart.
Yeah.
So when she sees when she's Wali, she knows that this is like, she automatically falls for him too. But
Yeah.
here come the flaw. Of course, she's double timing. She has a fiance, and then she's
Yes.
falling for this other guy who's like
Yes.
looking in the med, and it can happen in med school. Of course, you can fall
Yes.
in another, because you're so young. You don't know. Anybody
Yeah.
can sing. Of course,
Right.
girls will
Right.
go guy. I mean,
Right.
she's pretty herself too. So,
Right. Yeah.
so, but on the other hand, yeah, she's like, I didn't like that she was, letting Wali grow his feeling for her.
That
You
is
know,
true.
told him
And
from the beginning that, listen, hey, listen, I am engaged.
yeah. And he asked her pretty much upfront, like, are you with someone? Are you
Told him.
single or something like that? And she kind of evaded the topic and said, nope. And
So she
not
kind
really.
did a flirtatious thing with him, that she didn't tell him, and she wanted him to be around her, and she was enjoying that until he that whole scene was very nice.
Yeah.
But I would I would still say that at that age you can probably do something like that. But you're right
True.
that we don't know why she doesn't like Walid at all. Like,
Yes, yes. We don't know that. And what we see is that she's just against Wali from day one. It was even before she had
when
first
she
developed feelings for Wali, right? So,
uh, nice to her, uh,
huh. From his up until now, I don't know what they will make him do next, but up until now, he's been playing the role of an attentive fiance. But I didn't understand why it was being perceived as a domination.
yeah.
Like
I mean,
him coming to her
hours
tuition.
like, of course, at this age people do that.
Huh, exactly. I mean, and a lot of girls like that, to be honest. I remember when I was in college, and I had a friend who's at that time she was engaged to somebody who was working, and that guy used to take time off at his lunchtime to come and visit her in college, and she used to be so happy and delighted about it. Like she would brag about it to everyone. Oh, आज वो मुझे खाने पे ले गया था, all this stuff. And I'm like, यहाँ पे मुझे problem समझ में नहीं आ रही है कि this is even before she developed feelings for Wali, when they were just like they were still in this arguing mode when she got engaged.
And like this concept of, like, you know
Yeah.
having
Huh.
She
And
just
then
she doesn't like it at all.
yeah, she just didn't like the guy. And I think यहाँ पे थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो गया कि उन्होंने दिखाया नहीं कि उसको क्यों नहीं पसंद है. If the guy was it didn't look that well, no, you could have easily understood कि हाँ उसको देखने में ही पसंद नहीं है बंदा, या फिर उसकी हरकतें कुछ ऐसी है कि उसको पसंद नहीं है. तो
Mm-hmm.
ठीक है, she just abhors this guy. That makes sense. That would have made visual sense to the audience, right? पर
Yeah.
तुमने ऐसा नहीं किया. तुमने एक बहुत ही हैंडसम लड़की को दिखाया. तुमने उसकी हरकतों को भी कुछ ऐसे obnoxious नहीं दिखाया. तो
Yeah.
हमें नहीं समझ में आ रही है right off the bat कि माया, why is not Maya warming up to him? Like
Yeah.
she doesn't pick up the call, and she, like, literally ignores him till the mother intervenes, from the mother-in-law intervenes, or the mother intervenes. Any and this guy actually asked her up front कि तुमको मैं पसंद नहीं हूँ क्या? Don't you want to get married?
Yeah.
Remember? And there also she sort of evaded the thing because maybe she was scared of her dad.
Yeah.
But then you are also leading on this guy, right? In some way
Yeah.
or the other.
Yeah.
Like, या तो बोल दो कि नहीं मुझे नहीं करना है शादी. Can you convince your parents to say no?
You know.
Take him in confidence or something. या फिर तुम, since you want to play on कि मेरा 5 साल का काम हो जाए भाई,
So
so
let me.
just play on, right? So play along with this. Go with the flow. तो तो यहाँ पे she unnecessarily is creating more conflicts than she needs to. I felt. And then अभी तक तो मुझे वलीद का जो characterization करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि he is the bad person in the story and he's trying to dominate this girl, वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रही है. But maybe then in future they'll make him do worse stuff and then you'll go like, हाँ सही किया था माया ने.
Yeah.
तो
But we'll,
I'm,
we'll,
yeah.
but overall, it's a good watch.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, so relatable. Um, the dilemma that the kids are in, you see your kids going through those things at home as well, right? So you're like, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So like the sister, she failed in a subject and now she's so nervous कि घर जाके क्या बोले.
Yeah. So that's true. I mean, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Um, Give it like 10 out of 10. Like this time was fun to watch.
It's always fun to watch. Like I don't miss any of their
All-
episodes.
Everybody, direction is superb. Uh,
Yes.
it's a nice watch.
Yes, and the dialogues are so, the character of the Dadaji is so good,
So
right? Like so practical, so like, so sweet,
he's one of
yeah.
our legendary actors. So, he used to play guitar and he used to sing. So
Yes.
when he took the guitar from Ali, you can tell that, he's somebody who knows all of this. Like,
Yeah. And I love the way he explained to Wali कि like तुम्हारे interests एक जगह पे है, but is that gonna put bread on the table?
yeah,
Sometimes you have to make your decisions based on that, and that's what I had done in my life.
yeah,
तुम्हें भी वही करने को बोला जा रहा है, and I don't see anything wrong in that. So I think it was so nice the way he explained it to him, to Wali, and he got it. We don't see the dad doing anything like that, or maybe it's the way our kids are, that hum bole to फिर it's a problem, but anybody else explains the same thing, they get it, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so that was our cover for Parvarish. We're all liking the show. Hina gave it a 10 out of 10.
yeah,
I will give it an 8 out of 10 because मुझे अभी भी माया समझ में नहीं आ रही है पूरी तरह से. Um, but I will definitely continue watching it and we'll come back again with a fresh review on Parvarish and maybe Humraz.
yeah.
So till then, bye bye everyone.
Bye bye.